resources management common to all. All of these things, these bullets apply to it. You know, managing cultural resources to protect them, making sites appropriate, as appropriate, accessible. Emphasizes collaboration and consultation with Native American tribes and the Shash Jaa Commission. And it talked a little bit about that, our desire to engage the Shash Jaa Commission. And then, of course, activity level cultural resource management plan would be developed within 2 years of completing the plan. These are public use sites, and so in this monument management plan, all of these were called out in the proclamation. They're already currently being used as public use sites. Many of them are already hardened public use sites that can sustain visitor use. And so we think that it's appropriate for us to designate them as public use sites. Yeah, here.
By designating some as official public use sites, what's the consequence of the other sites not being designated? And what does it make them? Does that make sense? I mean, we're coming out saying, yeah, these are public use sites, but the sites that are not on this list that people may find on Google or whatever, I mean, what do you call them?
So most of these are more what we're referring to as front country sites. They're more in the front zone where easier access for visitors, where you get visitors come in and whether it be a brochure, hey, if I only got 4 hours to see Bears-Ear Monument, what do I go to? So this is a prime opportunity and example of going, here's some public use sites that are already hardened. We've coordinated with the tribes. We've got some language of how we want to portray those sites, education, and those kind of things. The more of the backcountry sites in our recreation and management zone areas we'll get to in a minute, those are more sites that are a little harder to get to. They're not as accessible to the general public. We need to do more coordination with tribal entities and other folks about sensitivity to those backcountry sites. And so we're concerned about not naming sites that are very sensitive to tribes and other entities due to the cultural sensitivity of it. Yeah.
I'm glad that Jared asked this question. I've been thinking about, I'll just maybe put this for Lisa as one of these topics that maybe we bookmark and have a longer conversation tomorrow. But as I've read through the public input, the written comments that we've gotten so far, one of the common themes is this concern over the increase in visitorship to the area, right? And how do you manage that? And so I think the BLM and the Forest Service meeting to take sort of this step back and look at this strategic question of how do you want to facilitate people coming? So, for example, on House on Fire, I was last there about a year ago, and it's not hard. At least it wasn't then. I mean, there's no signage. You just walk right up, and you can walk right up and touch stuff, which is cool. But I'd be concerned about the level of visitorship there and the exposure it has to damage. And ideally, we'd have the resources to just go and harden everything and have a significant larger law enforcement presence and be able to make sure that artifacts are not being taken and damaged. But in the absence of that, I'm glad you mentioned that it's important that we maybe not highlight stuff that's not. I mean, House on Fire is this iconic. It's all over. Everybody sees it. If you Google, visit Bears-Ears, that's one of the first things you'll come up with, right? So there's the genie's out of the bottle as far as some of these things, but other ones, like you said, are maybe there is some things that we can think through. How do we limit the exposure of the public to getting into these areas? And they're part of the backcountry, but the people who really want to find them, they're probably going to be able to find them. But if we don't facilitate that, so it's a question of how, what areas do we harden and what areas do we try and keep from receiving a level of visitorship, and how do we do that? So anyway, just a brief comment, maybe bookmark that for a longer conversation.
Thanks, Gordon. I appreciate that. I think the agency would really welcome thoughts and ideas on how do we have visitors come and limit use of sensitive sites and still protect sites that are important topic. Okay. Other comments, feedback on it?